It's time to go private, man. I don't know what 21 is going to bring. I do know, regardless of who wins this election for the United States, I don't care. I'm American. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I do know it affects, it will have an effect, at the very least, on prices that I'm paying. Because I'm not going to say, oh, this doesn't affect me, because it does. They're inflating the currency. When, I go to the grocery store, I see that, the price of stuff is increasing, especially for food. That's where I'm seeing it right now, is in food and stuff. So definitely inflation is here. But, overall, I don't have a dog in that fight when it comes to the United States. I really don't. But I'll tell you this, it's not getting any more positive for privacy. It's not happening. It's not. You're gonna get to a point where there's just, and we might even be at the point where there is no privacy. Seriously, but I think it would be much more advantageous, that these places are getting hacked, banks are getting hacked, all these different spots are getting hacked, right? I just think it would. And you might say, oh, so what is the trust going to do if I'm going to the hospital? Well, what if you pay for the hospital bills with a trust account and it gets hacked and they got your trust account? It's still private. You think hackers and all these scammers and stuff, they're gonna be pouring through all these documents, all this stuff, and they're gonna mess with something they don't recognize? No, they're gonna do what they know is proven. They're gonna find a name, they're gonna find a social, they're gonna find the address, and they're gonna do the dance. Another thing, if you get 100 emails or a bunch of emails out the blue, you need to go through those emails, because a lot of times if you get like a bunch of spam emails all of a sudden, you're like, man, I just got like 50 to 100 spam emails out of nowhere. Man, you got hacked. The reason is they hacked your bank account or your PayPal or something, and they're flooding your inbox because they don't want you to see that they changed your password or they're transferring money or something like that. Oh man, it's really important. You go in private, there's less things to worry about. When you're private, you know that this fiat currency is very, very, very dangerous and volatile. So when you're private, you hold your wealth in different assets and intangible assets. And you can only hold your wealth in tangible assets if the asset is titled outside of that all capital name. Bro, sis, straight up think about it. Own nothing, control everything. I don't care what you say. Oh, my birth certificate, Minnesota Rule 220, being silly. That is not your birth certificate. It was created by the state in all capital letters, a state, and a state is a fiction. It's got a state seal on that thing. Just because that name looks like your name, that is not you. I can make a trust right now with your name. The only difference with it will say TR after the name. That's not you, and it's not yours. And try to administer that trust without authorization and see what happens to you. And you wonder why we're going to jail and getting taxed. Family, I really want y'all to know that it's really time to go private. The stuff is going to happen fast. The stock market is going to crash. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go straight down, but, man, here it comes. Mark my words. I can't put a date on it because who can? Who can time the market? But the stock market will decrease in value. When the stimulus runs out, when they do the last thing of stimulus, when these companies have to be profitable, it's going to be weird. Y'all need to investigate credit profile numbers. Can I help you out with them? I cannot. I had to plug. It was last year, I think. I did the thing. We tried to do the dance. But y'all need to look into CPN numbers. Y'all need to get your trust set up. Y'all need to get your LLC set up. A lot of y'all missed out on the economic the economic injury disaster loan for your business because you didn't have a business with a business bank account. That's all you needed. And they was giving out stacks, tens of thousands of stacks. And they didn't want a security agreement if it was under 25,000. 90 seconds left. You hear her? I heard her. So if you're on the internet, we got 90 seconds left. You want to call in? What's the number? 563-999-3625. And you won't be cut off. But I don't know what to say. I'm concerned. I started this show off by saying, like, I don't get scared, I get concerned. I'm not a fearful person. I think fear is unnecessary, immature, and a waste. But I know concern to be in specific situations to be very wise. And I'm concerned. I'm telling y'all. I'm concerned. I've been doing this show we're coming up on 4 years of the foundation. What, in 2 months? I'll have been doing the foundation on High Frequency Radio Network for 4 years. Before that, I was on, what is it? Another show. Same platform, same high frequency, but I did another show for about a year, a little over a year, before, I began to do the foundation. So we're coming up on over 5 years that I've been on High Frequency Radio Network as SOL, and been putting out this information with regards to trust and trust administration. Is the main thing I talk about. Y'all know it. I don't care. People say you'll get more audience and you'll get more people listening if you talk about these things. I don't care because it's irrelevant. As far as I'm concerned, if you cannot title it an entity that does not owe its existence to legislation, state legislation, then I don't care. I don't care. Because anything that you own can be taxed to you or litigated away from you or seized from you, because that's not your name. As far as I'm concerned, that whole capture the straw man, to me it looks like some sort of agent stuff. Like it looked like a setup. Through proper administration of the entity, I'm sure there's things that you can do that most people don't agree with or have never seen. But to own it, I think that is absolutely ridiculous and infantile. And I think that's one of the tricks. It's one of them traps, one of them cul-de-sacs that's been thrown out there. So you run around in circles and waste your energy, feel like you're going somewhere, but you're not. But a private contractual trust, the power that these things possess. You can't understand it. It's like putting on some goggles and, one of them diving mouthpieces with the air tank and the breather and stuff and going underwater. It's a whole different world. You don't know anything about it. Nothing. What you do know is what you've been told from National Geographic or whatever. But you know nothing about it. You know nothing about the terrain. You know nothing about where to get, the things that you need or the things that will help you. Or you know nothing about it. Don't know where the hard currents are. The same thing with the private. You know nothing about it. You don't. A lot of people it sounds like some sort of myth, some cool, entertaining, alternative reality, whatever, man. We are here reestablishing our private estates. That's what we're doing. This is for the family. This is for the bloodline. It's not a game, and it's not for personal gain, individual gain. It'll backfire on you. I guarantee it. But if you for real, you serious, if you've been checking out the show for any length of time, if you've been on the fence or anything, if you can be honest and accountable and be truthful and acknowledge that, man, I've really been given an opportunity to really do something big. I may be scared, and I may be definitely afraid to fail, especially in front of people I've been talking so much stuff in front of, you know? And really just be like, you know what? I'm finna email this dude right now, and I'm about to get in trustee training so I can establish my private estate, because I know that's the reason why I came into contact with this brother. That's the reason why I'm listening to this brother right now. Something tells me that I'm supposed to be hearing this, and I need to move forward. And I don't know what's on the other side. I've heard this brother talk and stuff, but I don't know what is on the other side. Can I trust this brother? I asked him already, emailed him about trustee training. He told me how much it was. That was way more than I thought it was going to be. All these things. I mean, okay. But what if you reach a point where you can't say you didn't know, because at some point in your existence or time on this plane, you came into contact with so you can't say you didn't know. You just didn't do it. So, I mean, it's up to you. Y'all heard these current events. You think I'm playing? That's why I say the name of the news source, and I say the name, I read the name of the article. So you can go look it up. The reset the table from the Rockefeller Foundation, you trust that? the global 4.0 reset, the global reset from the World Health Organization, you trust that? All these companies having your private data and private information and your credit card on file and all this stuff, do you trust that? I don't know. I guess the biggest thing is people want to be upset because apparently the Trump didn't pay nothing but like $750 in taxes, man. Everybody worried about everybody else, man. That's the whole thing. I can't believe how many people was worried about this man and what he did with his bread and what taxes he paid. It's absolutely absurd to me. Democrat, Republican, I don't care. That's absurd to me. Get your hand. My father told me to never put my eyes in anyone else's pockets. Straight up. That's what my dad taught me. My daddy taught me that. Hey, don't be watching another man's pockets. That's what he used to tell me. So, no, I mean, he didn't call me so. He called me my name, you know what I'm saying? But so, don't you be watching no other man's pockets. I knew it was real when I heard it. Like, man, I knew it was real when I heard it. And you know it's real when you hear it. So, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Holler at me about the trustee training. Don't be scared. A lot of people, hit me up about trustee training, and then, I hit them back, and then they go dark and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's it. They're done. Like, oh, I'm done. That's silly. It's business, man. Part of business is negotiation, man. The meeting of the minds, you know what I'm saying? That's part of business. The meeting of the minds isn't, we can't have a meeting of the minds if you is mute. We can't have a meeting of the minds if you go dark. How are we having a meeting of the minds if you don't reply? Oh, that's not a meeting of the minds. That's an articulation from one mind. and the other mind is mute. Whatever. I'm kind of poking fun, you know. Start growing your own food. How about that? I don't make no money off that. Foundation don't make no money off that. Oh, he only want to talk about trustee training and the things on the website that he gets money off of. He only bought the Federal Reserve notes, the fiat, man. He bought the fiat. These brothers. Look, grow your own food, man. Jump on the internet, type in 2008 FBI mortgage fraud report. Go to the footnotes on like the second last page. Look at number 32, 33, or whatever it is. Learn something about that. But you know, I think most importantly, you know, it's time to establish your private estate. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This stuff here comes. And, you know, it's going to be a point where it's like, you're going to be like, oh, man, yeah, I can teach you. You know, I can put you in the training, but, you know, we're at a point where, I mean, I've seen it happen. We're at a point where you can no longer use an EIN on the IRS website to obtain another EIN. Nope, they want a social now. There was a time where I was teaching people, use it, go call the IRS, get your 98 number. Go online to the IRS.gov, and when it's going to say responsible party. Is it a business, existing business? Click existing business. It's going to want the name of the business and the EIN. Put the trust name and the trust EIN in right there. And you will get your EIN for your LLC. Matter of fact, you can get EINs for trusts. And it's private. You ain't got to give them the social. Can't do it no more, bro. Can't do it no more. You calling into the IRS trying to get an EIN number, they're asking all types of extra questions, hanging up on people and stuff. It's all changing. It's changing quick. You got the Social Security Administration that's allowing banks and credit unions to access their records to see if a number is really a Social Security number. What? Because the thing of it is you're not required to report or give them a Social Security number, but they're not required to give you service. Civil rights is discrimination. There's nothing in civil rights saying that they can't discriminate against non-Social Security holders, non-Social Security number holders. Think about it. Here it comes, y'all. So, admin at welcome-to-the-foundation.com. Should I go to the phone lines? I don't know. I love y'all though, I really do. But you know, it's really time to get this stuff working. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna keep talking, but I don't know what to say. I assume ignorance over malice, so you know I give people the benefit of the doubt. But it's important to know, you know, impact only comes with focus. You know, there's the only way you're gonna make an impact on your life and the people's lives around you is if you focus. That's it. And you got to focus on the correct things, you know. I can sit here and focus on a rock for 10 hours. It's not going to do anything for me. My family's not going to gain. I'm not going to gain. There will be no gains. You know, it needs to be the correct focus. And you got to ask yourself, are you focusing on the correct things? You got to be honest with yourself. What has the things that I've done and the choices that I've made up to today, has it given me what I wanted? What I feel like I deserve? Have the results been equivalent to what I want? Be honest. 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be no. No, I don't have what I want. And I worked all this time, and I don't even have what I want. Why is that? Is that because you're slow or stupid? No. It's because we're doing the wrong things. And it's the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding of the right things being the cause of why we're not doing the right things. So, admin at welcome-to-the-foundation.com. I trust that y'all were able to gain something from this, you know, from this show. I really do. This stuff is important beyond belief. We are going to see a food shortage or a food crisis within the next year or so. in the United States. Please believe. You can say shortage, you can say crisis. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be any food available, but it's going to be very expensive. What is available? And it's not just me saying it. There's something coming. Those who can feel it know, but it's time to get private. It's time to grow your own food. It's time to grab your gold and silver. It's time to reduce your dependence on the public. It may be even time for you to move out the city. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you. You know, I don't offer legal advice or anything like that. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't. I'm not an attorney, so I can't. I just speak on, my opinion, information, and educational purposes, entertainment if you want, whatever. Some of y'all just get entertainment from the information and hoard it and don't do anything with it. And it's amazing when I meet people like that. I'll be like, wow. But I guess it is what it is. But I can wax poetic all night about, the severity of the situation that we're in right now, y'all. What are you passionate about? The 3 things. Let me start over. 3 things. What are you good at? What are the things that you could do right now to generate an income? What do you like? What do you like to do? Or what would you like to do? So we can discuss what you're good at and what you can do right now to maybe generate an income for yourself and your family outside of working a job. Let's say you lost your job today, right now. What would you do? Just be depressed? What would you do? You have to focus on things. So what can you do? What can you do to get bread right now? That's the first thing. Because what? Because you're going to create your own business. Why? Because you're tired of getting laid off and not having a job and, not having that security. There's no such thing as job security because a job is inherently insecure because they can lay you off whenever they want. Let you go. Wow. So you do the things that you're good at, whether it's temporary or not. Well, what do you like? You focus on what you like as well, because what you like, you're likely going to pick up faster. And you might like what you're good at. You got to learn how to monetize that. You got to create a structure around that, so that structure itself receives the income and is contractually bound. Not you. Limit the liability 100% off of you personally and your family. Put it on the structure. Is it an LLC? Is it a business trust? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I do know the things that you're good at, the things that you like. And then, you can focus on your passion. You can start working on your passion. And typically people focus on their passion through a charitable activity, and that's typically a family foundation, which is tax exempt. But, most entrepreneurs do at least, 10 businesses in their lifetime. It's not going to be one business, and more than likely it's not going to be the first one that you start. But, the sooner you get started, the better. But, most people don't know where to start. Start what you do. Start what you know. What do you know? Oh, well, I do this, dude. I do data entry at my job. Okay, well, offer your services, for data entry. Investigate how you can do that remotely. Come to them with the whole solution. Look, I do data entry, but because of what's going on right now, to keep distances, we're going to do it remotely, and I have all the sophisticated necessary tools to facilitate, whatever. It don't matter. Pretty much everything you do outside of like specialized skills like chemists and what else? Chemists, mining, I don't know, transportation, these things where you need maybe some types of machines, or you need fixed machines to do your work, to do what you do. Like you can't execute your skills with the outside of the job because the job has all of the machines and necessary components. And for me to get those on my own would be too expensive and prohibitive with regards to financially. I get it. We all got to start somewhere. Email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Set up a consultation. Let's work out your situation, and let's get you on a path to going private. Let's get you straight into trustee training. We'll figure out what you need and where you need to go from. But it starts with you making contact. I don't know who you are. I love you though. I don't know your email. I don't know your phone number. I can't call you. I can't hit you up. I'm like, you know what? I got this feeling that you need to go private. Let's talk about that. Like, I can't do it. You got to reach out. But, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And it is what it is. So, no rush. But, yes, it's time to go private. I've been saying it for a while. It is time to go private, man. Like no other time before. No other time before. I don't know what else to say. So, I'll take a phone call. This number looks familiar. 718-210. Peace. What's your name?
Hey, so peace. So this Daryl from New York. How you doing?
I'm doing well, fam. Peace.
All right. I like what you said about the farming thing. I like what you said about leaving New York. I don't know if I like the end of world shows. I feel like not only that, people need to know how to do certain things like their car or how to do biofuel, and they need to know self-defense. You got a lot of people out there. They acquire wealth, but how they gonna defend that wealth? Everybody can't use a firearm, and everybody gonna be able to call 911. And 911 it may not be there. There's gonna be a lot of people out of work, and the ones who are working, people gonna be seeing that. Like as they used to say about a lot of the rappers, y'all eating and y'all coming to the hood, and a lot of people starving, and you think they ain't gonna try to get you. Take you off, rob you. So I look at that. A lot of people, they go out there, they whine and die and put on all this weight. But somebody run up on them or their family members, how you going to defend yourself? If you don't have any type of weapon, they need to know, how to restrain people, some type of martial arts, some type of advanced fighting skills, They need to invest in that too, they help. And because if the hospital shut down or the police department ain't going to go out there to, any type of law enforcement ain't going to come out there and protect people because it's going to be chaos, they're going to have to know how to defend themselves. I've been telling people that for a long time, because everything ain't boxing nowadays, they have all this other type of stuff, MMA, all the other type of stuff, jiu-jitsu or Shotokan and everything, I know you know a little something, but I forgot the name of it. But you were saying that type of that greenhouse thing that you could grow in the house. What's the name of that one? You gave it a special name.
Hold on, I said what?
You was talking about grow your own stuff, like you could grow it in the house, like you pest free and stuff like that. You call it a special name. Nah,
grow your own food. No, I said you can control the environment. You can control, there's not squirrels and stuff.
Well, I thought it was a kit that you gave the name to. Yeah.
Nah, there's no kit that I know of off the top of my head. I just know that, I know that they're called full spectrum bulbs.
Okay.
So you can get, if you have a lamp or something, you can just go get a bulb to screw into the lamp that you already have. You don't have to go get a whole setup. It's better if you get a whole setup, but you don't have to. You can put it together, for pretty cheap. You got a bookshelf and a couple desk lamps, you're pretty much good to go. You can start growing your own food in a studio apartment for real. And there's YouTube videos up and down that'll teach you how to grow this, how to grow that, how to start this, how to start that, how to grow potatoes in a bag in my apartment. And there's all types of videos that'll teach you how to grow. And it's time to start growing food, man. Even if it's a little bit.
Yeah. I remember last year, March. It was last year, March, right? It was March, or it was May. It was like you was telling people about, it's going to be the last time they'll be able to get stuff without their social. I think it was a year ago, right? On IRS? A year or two ago?
Oh, you talking about when they stopped letting you get the EIN with the EIN?
Yeah, that was about 2 years ago, right?
I think that was last year in May, honestly.
Okay.
I think it was May 2019.
Yeah.
I think May 13th, I think, was a Monday. It was significant for me. Hold on one second. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it was May 13th, 2019. Where's May? Yep, Monday, May 13th, 2019 was when they stopped that.
Yeah. Hey, have you talked about 1913? Have you? When the last time you mentioned anything about 1913?
You talking about what about 1913? You talking about the
like when they
Go ahead.
Yeah, the introduction of the income tax.
Yeah, the 1040 and the 1041.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't talked about when the last time you spoke on that.
I don't know. It's probably been a while. Yeah, it's probably been a while.
Yeah, but see, some people think they're far away, and they so wrapped up into the wrong type of history. They don't tell the history that hey, they can easily get caught up. If they structure themselves right. And then you leave it up to Hollywood. Hollywood gonna make you think you're somebody else if you don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people know everything about everybody else, but ask them do they know themselves? They don't. They'll tell you about everybody else, but they can't tell you about themselves. Yeah. So how's everything been? Lately? And hard times never last forever. It's simply like what's your name said? Energy never dies. END.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Copper tone with that. Yeah. So how you been, man? How you been?
I've been well. Yeah, I've definitely been well. I can't complain, man. But I feel as though I don't like to say that I feel blessed. I do feel blessed to have the wherewithal to see what needed to be done and do it. So in this situation, mass layoffs, furloughs and stuff, it isn't affecting my family. And I think that's the biggest thing. When you start seeing the people that you care about suffering, and whatever level of suffer that you consider, it makes stuff a lot more difficult. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Stuff is really crazy right now for a lot of people, but I appreciate, and I thank, the Creator and the ancestors that I was able to, see what was coming and put my family in a different position. Definitely.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, we good, man. We straight. We healthy. We fed. Everything's good. How are you? How's the fam?
I'm doing all right. Everybody, how everybody left the nest. Some people come back, some people don't. But I look at it like this: I have forever. Because I tell that story about my mom's. It's two stories actually. Let me see, 2 stories. Yeah, it's 2 stories. Like, my mother was laid up in the hospital, and I was like sleeping, and these 2 guys were pushing my mother. I'm gonna get to understand it better one day. Probably Big Brother Yusuf L will know it. And I'm telling them, yo, my mother's gonna fall. My mother's gonna fall. They was pushing her around the hospital, I guess, for some type of procedure. And I'm telling them, my mother's gonna fall. My mother's gonna fall. I mean, she fell. I snapped out from sleeping. And then the next day, the phone rang. My sister said, yo, I gotta go to the hospital. They said, Mom is expiring. I said, I know already. Then the next thing, like today's Wednesday, right? And I said, I give my brother. And I wake up, I said, yo, Sot, Mom told me she need a stove. So then what happened, you called me like Friday, Saturday, say, yo, Daryl, the stove broke. I said, yo, didn't I tell you Wednesday Mom said she needed a stove? Right? But so being that people left the nest, some of them, whether they screening the calls or whatever they doing, or they wrapped up into their significant other or their job or stuff like that, you only got 2 days to handle whatever you're doing and 2 days to be with your loved one. And some people do that for 30 years till they 67 or how many ever years till they retire. But because of my mother came to me a few times when she passed away, I know I got forever to get in contact with them, whether it be now or whenever. And everybody, some people never have that experience. I had that experience with a few different people, close and related and not related. So I don't worry about anything like that, like that. I don't worry about anything, but I ain't rushing to go on the other side, but I ain't worrying about anything like that. I can have some fun on this side, all cool and dandy. If not, I know I get in on the other side, because I know they having fun on the other side. I've seen it, but I don't know everything about it, And maybe it was my time to go, and they say, yo, you're not ready yet. Yeah, but, fear nothing. Tell them bring it on. Yeah. But anyway, so, you probably ain't gonna take any calls after this. You stay strong and you live long. I know you haven't heard from me in a while. Through all the phone calls that are able to be made to, get in touch with you on a different level. But, always peace and strong, man. And you have my support.
I appreciate that, fam. You good though, Daryl? You good, man?
Oh yeah, I'm good like that. I'm good. I'm just like reclassifying everything. I'm reclassifying everything, and I'm not letting anything mess with my mind. There's a lot of stuff out here. We've been conditioned with a lot of stuff. So I'm unconditioning myself to condition myself, and condition myself the right way. I'm not rushing everything that I haven't put into play, but I figure out today, let me do a little bit, just an hour a day, and everything will fall into place. I'm getting into like, the liens and stuff like that, buying houses eventually. I'm doing that. I try to have a team, but a lot of people, they make promises. They tell you what you want to hear, and there be no place around when time for game day, when it's time to play, that they not around. That a lot of people. But it don't bother me. It don't bother me at all. That, sometimes you got to do it by yourself. And there's nothing wrong in doing it by yourself. Nothing wrong in being in solitary confinement. Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being the last person on earth. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I'm all right, so.
Okay, man. It's good to hear, man. Yeah, you're right. I haven't heard from you in a minute. I always I think of you and Yvette. I think of a lot of the trustees, and y'all two was like some of the OG trustees from back in the day. So I appreciate that we've been able to keep in contact, even if it's been more sporadic lately. But I understand there's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't expect anyone to prioritize hitting me up. But I do appreciate
that.
I tell you. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you one thing. Texas, y'all still be riding them horses out there?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you know how to ride a horse?
I know how to ride a horse. I know how to saddle a horse. I know how to clean a horse. Yes, sir.
You remember I told you my uncle was my mother's brother was a jockey, right?
I think I remember you saying that, which means my man's was a small little guy, right? And you had jockeys were little peoples. You know what I'm saying? Little.
Yeah, he could you could put him on any horse. He could ride any horse. But his problem was he used to drink. That was his problem. But from there, like, he used to be a jockey like back in like the 50s and 60s, but definitely in the 60s. That then my other mother brother, he tried to do it too, but one day the horse threw him off, so he just became a hot walker. Them the guys who walk the horse while the jockey's on it. So like about 5 of my other brothers, they were serious into the horse thing, on the tracks. Every track you can think of. I don't know if you know about the tracks, Meadowland, Aqueduct, Saratoga, Finger Leg, all the tracks, Yeah.
Yeah,
but hey,
yeah. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna invest in some horse, cause like when ain't no gas station, when ain't no gas in the gas station, you need something to get around. You gotta invest. You gotta invest in something some transportation gonna get you around. I'm gonna invest in some horses, some sleigh dogs, and all that good stuff. Like that, And I said before, if everything go back to water, I'm gonna get me a harness that got fit on a killer whale, and right, I thought, for real, like that. The killer whales, they got them in SeaWorld. They got the dolphins, and we got to be out there and get protected against sharking. The dogs in the water is either going to be the killer whales or the dolphins, so they got to defend us. If we can train them in SeaWorld, hey, that's the future. That might be our grandkids training them in case things like really get bad, Yeah, so we be out on the ocean like that. They never run out of gas, ain't like a boat run out of gas. You on a killer whale back, you put a harness on that sucker, he take you, he know the water, he know the sea, Get a few of them like that,
I saw a video of when this killer whale grabbed the trainer by the leg and brought the trainer down in the bottom of the tank and waited until they drowned, man. Oh, killer whales are orcas, but them joints is dolphins, man. They very intelligent. They're big dolphins.
But that trainer probably did something to that killer whale on the low.
Yeah, maybe. You're probably right.
Abuse them like that. Yeah, abuse them like that. He like, oh, you want to abuse me? Okay, like that. But hey, so I'm gonna let you take the next caller. If it's any out there, I don't feel there's any out there. That if it is, that I'm gonna let you take the next one, and I'll be talking to you after I square everything away like that. That's why everything's alright. I'm dealing with the solitary confinement. Going to work. Just get myself together, I don't know where everybody's at, but I'm not worrying about it. Just wish everybody the best,
I appreciate it, man. I wish you the best too. Yeah, it's weird right now. People are in and out, but I trust everyone's well.
I just hope that the team stays strong and don't let anybody come between the team, because there's a lot of people out there, putting out a whole lot of, bad talk about us, and I just hope nobody ruins the team,
You said bad talk about who?
About, everybody, people just lying just to get a come up, people lying on one another just to get a come up. That's how a lot of people make a come up. They be lying on people, with that, framing people with that, with that. And some people are weak. They don't know, They're weak. They believe anything, So, they can't, they don't. I don't know. It's just something wrong. Some people they're just easy manipulated, Yeah, so I just hope a lot of the team members, they don't fall for the okie doke.
I got you.
Okay. All right, so as always, peace and love. Stay strong like that. Keep up what you're doing. That never let anybody discourage you. That if they say no, hey, you ain't got to convince them. Just move on. Don't waste your time. That Yeah.
No, I agree with you. And it's funny that you mentioned that because I had a conversation with a friend of mine today, actually. And I was kind of explaining to them how I don't really talk about this stuff to people, and they were like, "Why not? This is your thing. This is what you do. You should. I thought you talk about this, and you teach these concepts all the time." And I was telling them, yeah, I do, but it's the people who are looking. It's the people who are receptive. I don't walk up on people in parties and just start chopping them up like, hey, do you know the 14th Amendment citizen, all cap letter, is a subject class citizenship, and it's not a true de jure citizenship of the republic. I don't do that stuff. I don't just be dropping stuff on people because I feel like if you're not looking for it, then you're not going to hear what I'm saying. What I'm saying is not going to make any sense to you. So I hear what you're saying. If people ain't trying to hear it, I move on, man. I keep it moving.
Yeah, And on top of that, like you'd be like, wow, you got some wolves out there in sheep clothing. They're looking to find these people because they want a lot of people. They want, like, you know how they say the sleeping giant. They want a lot of people asleep. They don't want people to be wake up. Not, you know, I'm just saying, like, cause when they know that you're like, yo, you ain't gonna be stuck with them. A lot of people mad because you ain't gonna be stuck like they stuck. You know, and they're gonna be upset. So in this time, what do? Do we play checkers and chess with our information? Do we keep it public or do we keep it private? Because some things, all the ways you move, some things you gotta be careful how you move in the public. What you say in the public, how you look in the public, how you walk in the public. A lot of things, you know. That, so do you keep it private? You know. Is it for everybody's eyes? Is it for everybody's ears? You know, so a lot of things out there, you know, in these times, you know, even family members that, you know, some things you don't tell nobody. You don't even tell your children that. You just keep it private. It ain't for their ears. You know, they not ready for it. You know, that, you know, they're just not ready for it. You know, no matter how much you love somebody, some things they just don't need to know. You know, because who they might tell, you know, they might tell the wrong person, you know. So some things you just don't tell. It's sad, but, you know, maybe one day they'll understand, you know. That's the way I look at it. But that something I just my spider senses just tell me some people just want you to be stuck like them, you know. Well, I ain't saying, when I say you, I mean like some people just want other people to be stuck like them. You know, they don't want anything. They just want to be like, they don't want to be leaders, and they don't want anybody else to be leaders. They just want to be followers. You know, they be like, oh, it's not your time to be on top yet. It can never be your time to be on top. Why he gotta be on top and I can't be on top? That's how some people like think. And they allow them to do anything to knock you off with that, you know, like that, you know, throw a roadblock in there, that, you know. Yeah, but hey, you know, I don't need what they need. I don't, you know, that, because I'm going to go someplace they can't go. A lot of people don't like cold. A lot of people don't like heat. That, if they can hang, follow me. Yeah. That's why everything is all right, so everything is all right.
All right, yeah, that's good to hear, man. Yeah. That's good to hear, family.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate you calling in. I got an 803. We got a 281. And
okay,
looks like a 404. Yeah, I'm sorry. I ain't going to take no more calls, man. I'm about to wrap up the show. But I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, hold on. I want to say one thing. All to the callers, I'm sorry I took so long talking to Sot, but the next time, he'll be able to take that call to the 803, the 404, which is Pride, Florida, like that, Georgia, something like that. Peace and love to all of you out there.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Peace and love.
All right. Appreciate y'all, too.
All right, peace. Yeah, got a 803, got a 281, that's Texas. And we got a 404, I apologize. You know, it's been a long day. If I'm being honest, I got new tenants moving into the property tomorrow, man. So, you know, I got that to take care of. Got some other stuff going on. You know, but I definitely appreciate y'all, you know, calling in. You know, those of you like, you know, Darryl, Yvette, Brian, Mello, you know, all the regulars, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, you know, holding it down for the foundation. I appreciate everyone new. Appreciate, you know, even if you listen to this stuff and, you know, sometimes you check out the show and it's like, man, what is this dude talking about? Because maybe it's a little over your head. But you still check it out because, you know, you listen to me when I say, man, you can get this. It's a lifestyle change. So there's things that you got to do. It takes time. And, you know, Hopefully you trust in me when I say that. It's not because you're stupid. We were just miseducated, straight up. We were miseducated. Were you taught to balance a checkbook in high school? Okay, so think about the implications of that. Because how fundamental is it to be able to balance your checkbook? So if that fundamental knowledge wasn't taught to you in the public school, think of all the other things that weren't taught to you. So it's not about intelligence. It's not about you stupid. It's not about any of that stuff. It's not about you lazy. It's about you didn't have the proper information. Now that you are coming into the proper information, it takes time. But don't take too much time. You must move with haste because the public is locking down. I've been saying it for years. It's locking down. And every time I look, I'm seeing more and more evidence of that fact. So one of the main things, the foundation of all this stuff is getting your private estate in order, your private entities that last multiple generations, that never die. So there's no death tax, inheritance tax. I mean, there's so much more to it. But, these are the structures that will hold all of the family assets outside of the purview of the state and allow for the mitigation of taxes legally. And it probably sounds too good to be true because most of us don't understand what goes into being able to do that. And that's when I say it's a lifestyle. It requires a lifestyle change. It requires that you change some of your habits. It requires that you change some of your thoughts. And it requires that you make a sacrifice, energy sacrifice, in order to move forward. And if you don't understand that, then, just keep checking out the show until you do. But in the meantime, those of you who know, admin at welcometothefoundation.com, straight up, get into this trustee training. It is time, it is time, it is time. Start growing your own food. Full spectrum light bulbs. Full spectrum light bulbs. You already got sockets, you already got desk lamps, you got the stuff. You can go to Goodwill, you can go to, the stuff is, you can get it used, and all you got to do is plug in the bulb. You follow what I'm saying? But, establish your private estate, start growing your own food, and, start your own family company. These are things that we all can do to not only reduce our dependency on the public, but to begin to reestablish our private estates. I know it's been a long episode. It's really longer than usual. I apologize. But with all this being said, it's not too late. And it's time to establish your private estate. It's time to go private now. It really is. So once again, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. It will be my pleasure to serve you and your family, because that's essentially what it is. Y'all take care of yourself. Y'all enjoy yourself. Have a great week. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep at night. Tonight and every night, it is important. And I will catch you next time. Same network, High Frequency Radio Network, same platform, the foundation. And until then, y'all be easy, be safe, and don't take stuff too seriously. Just chill out, laugh some more. Try to enjoy yourself, but it's time to get down to business. So I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care of yourself, enjoy yourself, and I'll catch you next time. Peace to the guys.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.